I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from How Low Can You Go, Book 5 in the Do the Wrong Thing series. Last time I read, we had edits to the piece where Ava reflects on the time Greg went home to stop drinking, and edits to the piece where she hitchhiked to a heavy metal concert. This is the ending of that chapter, and then on to the next one. This chapter is called Music is Life. Gazing around the more than half-empty stadium, what the hell? There are 2 rows of vacant seats before and behind me, and no one on either side of me for 3 or 4 seats, both left and right. What? Ice-T is premiering his heavy metal band. Henry Rollins, the Rollin Band. The Butthole Surfers are playing. Jane's Addiction. Where is everybody? Music history is being made, and no one is here. I took the bus to Concord. Didn't want to hitchhike in the early morning and risk missing part of this Lollapalooza thing. I'll bus back afterwards. Don't feel like bothering Rick and Michelle. I wear a white ribbed undershirt, cut off, of course, that reveals the straps and blackness of my bra beneath, and the white shorts with the embroidery down the front. I've cut the shorts off so they are short, like regular shorts, instead of going down to my knees. I'm still not totally comfortable, and not least because white shorts on stadium seats are stupid. I'm pretty far from the stage, not quite performers looking like ants. I can see faces, but Barbie doll size. Butthole Surfers, Body Count Rollins Band. Where's everybody? Next chapter is called University of Photography. Along with Damien re-entering my life comes his friend from Concord, Alex, a bubbly, happy blonde with whom I get an apartment. The landlord is putting the rent up on mine. I need to save money for school. I'm lonely. I'm pissed that the landlord is putting the rent up. I take it personally and never consider that this is something landlords do. I live beyond my means. I make poor decisions. I'm an idiot. I'll remember the apartment I get with Alex fondly for the rest of my life. On a leafy street, ground floor, we have great neighbors about the same age as us, but more mature. They have jobs, careers, I should say. The building is owned by a U of Arbor economics professor. Maybe that's why the people in it are open-minded but respectable. It's expensive, even split 2 ways, this apartment, but still cheaper than what I'd be paying on my own. A huge kitchen and a back porch that looks out over a parking space for the building. There's a little gray house back there, but in the year I'm at the apartment, I never once see the person who lives in it. 2 large bedrooms, a good-sized living room, and the pièce de résistance, a full basement. With a dirt floor, it's true, but I fix that easily with an old piece of green turf my parents give me. It becomes my art studio. With the furniture I've reclaimed, painted, and reupholstered, the suite is both homey and funky. Alex is great to live with, easygoing, but stays in her room a lot, and I have the run of the place where I fill the hallway and living room walls with more bedsheet canvases and work. When Ian started managing at the Pioneer a year ago, I thought he was going to be awful because of the nerdy way he dressed. I was wrong. Ava, he teased me shortly after I came back from New York. You look like a bum. Ian, I had responded, pointing to my dreads. $200. Then I pointed to my brand new band t-shirt. $20. My oversized black hip-hop shorts. $100. And my docs. $100. You spent over $400 to look like a bum, he laughed. But it was good-natured, and I laughed with him, because he was right. This new manager, though, she doesn't laugh at my fashion choices. From the moment she starts her job, if she smiles at me at all, it's strained. Not that I care. Work has become difficult. Emily and I have drifted apart. I don't really like hanging out at Amoeba anymore. It's not an art gallery, no matter what Simon and Johnny say. It's a house where a bunch of guys on welfare live. I don't even like the music they listen to. Danzig, Prong. I prefer industrial or rap. Amoeba is cold, dirty, and disheveled. I only go because otherwise I'd be home alone. I can only shop, take photos, and paint clothes for so many hours a day. It's a late summer afternoon when I show up at the Pioneer for a dinner shift wearing men's army underwear, lightweight, cream-colored wool boxers. I pull the fly open to show my coworkers the black tie-dyed bicycle shorts I've got on underneath. You are not wearing those at work, the new manager, Amy, says. I close the fly. Why not? They're disgusting. What's disgusting about them? You can't see anything. They're no different from a pair of shorts. Go home and change. Seriously? You are not working in those, Ava. My chest tightens. Amy, go home. Change. She's furious. I leave, but I don't go back. It's hard to describe. Impossible, in fact. I have no words, concepts, or frame of reference. Awareness with zero associations, memories, or feelings. Blinking, detached. I'm not even an eye, an amoeba. I stare at a formation of light and dark. 3 planes meeting in a point. The plane that stretches above me, lightest in tone. The one to my side, darker. The one at my feet, darkest of all. I enjoy this feeling. Floating in consciousness. What time is it? No idea. Day? Year? What is a day? What is a year? I can't pinpoint the trigger that returns me to reality. The odors of stale beer, cigarettes, Greg's sweat, and dirty clothes. The 3 planes meeting become 2 walls in the ceiling of Greg's bedroom. I turn my head. The sun peeks in around a drawn blind. I turn a bit more and recognize scuffed walls, the heavy dresser and piles of clothes across decayed hardwood, my backpack, 50 and Labatt blue cans, and a cut glass ashtray full of wet dust and cigarette butts. Trills and peeps skate through the air. Birds outside. Was that God, that absence of understanding? Was he overwhelming me? Prophets have visions and hear God speak. Maybe I get nothing. Anyway, it's morning, August 23rd, 1991. I'm Ava Mueller. I'm in Greg's bed. As planned, I dropped all my courses except 4Away's Wednesday morning one. I applied for a full slate because A, I didn't know if the school would accept me if I was only applying for one course or even for part-time courses, and B, I wanted to apply for grants and loans and figured they'd be more likely to give me those if I was full-time. 4Away is everything I imagined he'd be. A large man with frizzy hair past his shoulders, a long beard, mischievous sparkle in his eyes, and a sly grin, soft-spoken. I don't waste any time, partly because if I do, I'm afraid I'll lose my nerve. At the end of our first class, I approach him. Hi, I'm wondering if I can ask you something. Sure, he says in his quiet voice. Well, I'm on welfare, I say. It's my only source of money, and if I'm not available to look for work Monday to Friday during work hours, they'll, well, he grins, side-eyeing me. But if you wrote me a note saying that I can just be graded on assignments and homework, he rolls his eyes, shakes his head, grins and nods. What should it say? He asks. I go to 4Away's class anyway. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Aaron and his twin brother, Todd. Oh my God, are they handsome? The cheekbones, the full lips, the soft brown eyes. Todd works in an expensive hip clothing store in the hub that I've never been in because it's so intimidating. And Aaron is in a band. Not a punk or metal one, but a normal sounding one that gets gigs. They're anomalies at Nerd and Amoeba. Todd with his job and Aaron with his music success. They're not regulars. There's a story about them. When they were younger, I don't know how much younger because now they must be about my age, 27, they shared girls. One would leave his bedroom and the other would go in, pretending to be the one who left. Maybe that's how they end up at Nerd and Amoeba. Something not quite right in their heads or hearts, something missing. My camera, or Owen's, is a talisman, though. I take pictures of all the guys at parties and ask Aaron if I can photograph him on his own sometime. I'm a different person at Aaron's apartment. I snap him while he smokes and tries on different hats. We chat. His place isn't pristine. It's not like Nerd or any of Greg's houses. It's like mine. I'm talking to beautiful Aaron, like a normal, casual human being. With the camera, I can look at him, let my eyes run over those cheekbones and through his hair. I can look at his eyes without the camera in front of my face, but not for too long. Got to be professional.